I felt bad because we lost to Tunisia. Our performance was great, but we couldn't sustain the winning memento we were having initially. But I look at the defeat as a result of inadequate communication with our defenders. They didn't communicate properly, and our goalkeeper was not in the right position. I think that was what I saw, and I wasn't happy with the situation yesterday. I expected them to move to semi or probably final. Is that okay? But glory be to God for reaching this stage we've gotten.
I watched the match, but at the end of the day, I was not happy because the result I was expecting, at the end of the day, we did not see what we expected. Because before the match, I was having in mind that Nigeria is going to win the match. Because if you check what Nigeria played for the first leg and for the first leg, they play very well. Even their first match, their second match, they play very well, and they are the highest country that they have the highest point for the group stage. So you see, that yesterday everybody have in mind that Nigeria is going to win the match. But at the end of the day, because the way those people come out, Nigeria is like they underrate them. According to what I see, it's like they underrate those guys. But game is a lock. But I believe that Nigeria is supposed to win that game yesterday. But what killed Nigeria yesterday is that red card totally.
I had to laugh because if I start thinking about it, I'll just get sad. It was poor play, everything was slow. It was just a bad game, and it came at one of the worst times during the knockout stages. It was during the group stages, then we could bounce back, but it was a really bad game. I feel that the players were not. I don't think it had anything to do with the tactics. I think the subs were bad, but I feel like the players going into the game didn't really have that extra push or that extra zeal. Maybe they were nervous, I can't know, but I didn't really see that from the match.
This is a matter of game, and definitely anything can happen. 1 + 1 sometimes is not 2. Although the initial preparation is okay, but what really happened is that when before the goal or before the red card, they've been trying, and apart from that, they didn't have that seal to score. But after the red card, you can see that if to say they play the way they played after the red card, they play it at the first time, definitely we will have got a very, very nice goal. So I feel bad.
Nigerians reacting there concerning the loss of Super Eagles of Nigeria. So painful. They lost that game by a long goal. That goal they were looking for. They almost got it because of Sadiq Umar, but it did not come. Nigerians reacting there concerning that. Well, a lot of different opinions here and there, but the deed has been done. We can't reverse it. All we need to do now is to prepare ahead of the World Cup against Ghana. We just have to up our games and do better if we want to go to Qatar 2022 World Cup. Hopefully, we can scale through. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Joining me in the studio, to my immediate left-hand side is Ijoma Kibo. Good to have you, Ijoma.
Thank you for having me.
And to the far left is the lady that is wearing green anyway. That's what Nigerians do see. I love the fact that you are a patriotic Nigerian. Yeah. Good one, Adama Mata. Now, let's quickly look at the fact that yes, Nigeria is out, but let's look at some matches that will be coming up today in the AFCON round of 16 matches to be played today. Let's look at it quickly as we'll be taking all the games. Well, Guinea will be facing Gambia. Gambia, well, a small nation that have surprised everyone in this tournament. They'll be facing Guinea, where you have Naby Keita. Can they do it? Well, don't write anyone off now, because if Tunisia could do it against Nigeria, they too have been motivated concerning that game yesterday. Now, Cameroon will be playing against Comoro, also a very small nation, but you never can tell. You never can say never. As it is right now, Cameroon must be very careful because of the fact that they are the host nation. They must be very careful. Ijeoma, Cameroon versus Comoro. Let me start from the bottom. Cameroon versus Comoro. Cameroon, they are the host. We know that, boisterous and all that, all the support from the fans and everything. But football is not played with that. Comoros might just shock them. How do you see this game?
Yeah, I think it's quite possible, but Cameroon will rely on their fan support. It's going to be a huge one today. I can't imagine the number of fans who come out today to watch them. But we cannot take it away from Comoros because, you know, there's now an added adrenaline in them, you know, after beating Ghana in that at the group stages. But I still see Cameroon coming out of this tournament, out of this game with a win, you know, against Comoros. We can't take it away from Comoros, but I don't think I see Comoros creating another upset. I don't think so.
So you're already giving it to Cameroon?
Yeah.
Stylishly. Are you from Cameroon? Okay, Martha. Well, she's supporting Cameroon because she believes that Comoros doesn't have any chance against Cameroon. Do you see Comoros standing, winning this game?
In that case, I think I'm going to leave my mind open because if you watch most of the team this time around, I'm very happy with the quality of the players. I thought I was watching the English Premier League. All the countries, the qualities of the players, despite the Comoros Island. You know, there's a way that a sports psychologist or a coach can even train the players on how to, put the fans behind. So if the Comoros Island coach can
perhaps the boys forget about the fans,
forget about the fans and play, I think
they can spring out surprises against Cameroon.
Anybody's game, yeah.
And Gambia versus Guinea also. You have two giants. I don't want to call them draft now, but but serious. You have like these are football nations. When it comes to football, Guinea, Cameroon. Nobody rates Gambia or Comoros, but they've made it to this round of 16. So it means they put in a lot of hard work for them to qualify. You tilt towards Cameroon against Comoros. Are you also tilting towards Guinea to beat Gambia?
Well, Guinea against Gambia is going to be a huge one, you know, compared to what I expect with Cameroon against Comoros. Gambia are debutants in this tournament, but they beat Tunisia in a serious North African side that have all the football flair and all that. So Guinea against Guinea against Gambia is going to be a huge one. I haven't foresee an extra time, you know, and possibly a penalty shootout in the game. Forget they have a navigator in that Guinea team, but I don't think he's going to. Navigator, yeah, he could do his best, but not as much as Gambia. When you see them play, they really play as a team. They play like people who have, you know, who they don't have what's this thing behind? There's no. They either lose or go. There's nothing else.
They have nothing to prove. They just want to play their game.
Thank you. So they'll just be there to give their all and make a statement.
And for them to have gotten to this level, that shows that now they begin to have confidence that they can do it.
Yeah, of course.
We've been reviewing the matches that will be coming up. Rather preview. The one will be coming up is already ongoing right now. Well, let's look at the fact that Comoros, Gambia, can they withstand the heat from Guinea and Cameroon? That's for the players to answer. We're looking at the AFCON matches for today, round of 16. Well, so painful. Nigeria is out, Gabon out. Burkina Faso will be facing Tunisia. Earlier on, you saw the reaction of Nigerians concerning that game, where they were not really too happy. The fact that some people are putting blame here, blame there. But for me, nobody's to be blamed now. It has happened. You cannot repeat that game. All we need to do now, plan ahead against Ghana. Yes, plan ahead against Ghana is a clarion call, and we just have to realize that we made mistakes in sports or whatever we do. Now correct such mistakes. Now let's leave AFCON a bit. Let's talk about our own grassroots sports. Grassroots sport development in Nigeria is a particular side of sport that needs to be supported. Now our focus will be on cricket and football. And for cricket, Ijeoma Kibo here will be talking about that. Ijeoma, you are well rooted in cricket in Nigeria. Give us an overview.
Okay, cricket at this moment, it's the trajectory is really on from the bottom and is really going steadily high. I would say that because right now, the person in the helm of affairs, that's Mr. Uyapata, who is the president of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, at the moment, he's been conscious, he's been deliberate, he's been intentional in terms of improving the game of cricket at the grassroots level. Right now, there's so many, you might not know it, but there's so many leagues going on in the country. There's a cricket league going on in Edo, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, all at the same time, as I'm telling you. They play at the weekend, you know. So and right now, I think the Nigerian Cricket Federation, there's a plan for the under-17 tournament, which is beginning this weekend in Abuja. So it's a whole lot of intentional, grassroots improvement. They are working on it, and they're also looking at the facility as well. You might also know that last 2 weeks ago, the Nigerian Cricket Federation unveiled another tough wicket in Lagos at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. This has brought the number of those such a facility to 7. It's an international standard cricket facility in Lagos. So the Nigerian Cricket Federation is really particular. They're really intentional when it comes to improving the game at the grassroots level. And I think if you ask most of them, they'll tell you that really are trying to match toe to toe to see how they can get to football, to match with football in the next few years. So it's a good one.
Okay, now you are talking about cricket. This is a sport that, yes, a lot of people don't even understand it. They don't understand how it works, how to play, but when they see them wearing nets or is it stick or
helmets
and all that. Yeah. So a lot of people are like, I've been seeing this thing on TV, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and all these countries. So it's actually in Nigeria. Yeah. And we have an over, where they call it over,
yes,
right?
An over, yeah.
That's their like
so
stadium,
many overs,
pitch.
Yeah, that's a pitch.
Okay, now we've been looking at cricket in Nigeria as a sport. We are focusing on cricket as a grassroots sport focus. We have to always give time to all the grassroots sports in Nigeria. Now, Ijoma has actually talked about cricket. Let's digress a bit. Let's talk football. Yes, let's talk football, grassroots football. Adama Mata, I know you are into grassroots football. Tell us, how would you rate Nigerian football in the grassroots level?
I think presently it's a little bit okay, but some few years ago it was a very bad situation. I'm actually a product of grassroots sports, so I'm very passionate about grassroots sports. So when I see all these things happening, I mean, it's not a good thing, but there are a lot of academies coming up now, and people are trying to do great things for the grassroots sports.
You are into two. You are into basketball, you are into football. Now we are talking football. Before I will take you to basketball, grassroots football now. Yes. That's our focus. You, as you are, you've been dealing with some grassroots footballers. Yes. What inspired you to do that, to go into grassroots football?
Okay. Like I told you, I'm coming from grassroots. You know, sports can take you to the lowest level to the highest. I started as a grassroots player. It took me from my small town in the Middle Belt region all the way to Lagos to where I am today. So when I look at what is happening to grassroots sports, I was like, I almost cried. What's going on? If I can be where I am today because of the sports, what happens to the other children? So that actually prompted me to co-found grassroots football club, Alimosho. Football club, yeah. Alimosho
Football Club.
Yes, yeah.
You co-founded it. Now, the idea is to do what?
Actually, the idea is to have academies in school, develop school football clubs in schools, and to train school children on sports leadership, which we have done, I think, a lot, and we're still going to develop more on that.
Wow. Is it only for boys? Because I know it's always is it only for boys or boys and girls?
No, boys and girls. Our academies are mixed up with boys and girls. And what we do normally, we don't even separate a girl child from the male. We put them together, the skills together, so that as a female, I won't say I can't get to where you are today because you are a man. You understand? So we try to train them on that earlier. If you can be a president as a man, I can be a president as a woman too. So we put them together, they do all the basic skills together, they play together. We don't really separate the male from the female at this initial stage. Yes.
Okay, now when you look at grassroots sports, even though we are focusing on cricket and football, I mentioned earlier basketball, which you played. Would you say during the time you played basketball, the grassroots level, and now, which one is better?
I think now it's normally the efforts of private academies, the last 20 years or more, believe me. But in those days, I think the government were actually more involved, where you have a recreational center very close to all neighborhoods, especially like government estates and all of that. You always have one. If I move from my town, Tukwa, and I go to the state capital in Makurdi, I always have somewhere to, get myself involved in sporting activities, which you can hardly see these days. Yeah.
Okay, we've been looking at grassroots sport development, focusing on cricket and football, and the ladies have really been giving answers concerning those sports. Now let's digress back to cricket before we go to another stories trending. Quickly, cricket in Nigeria. You mentioned they are really create awareness. Is there anything the federation is doing to inculcate it into secondary school? Because I know it's always hard from schools.
Yeah, too much. But let me begin personally. I'm the founder of Girls Aspire Sport Initiative. It's an NGO aimed at promoting the participation of girls in sports. At the moment, we have started with cricket. We have a partnership with the Nigerian Cricket Federation. And so we've trained over 500 girls in sport. Yeah, so I'm going to take up from when she said boys and girls. In the last, we had a tournament, that was in October. And then we also had to bring in the boys. Because sometimes when we go to train the girls, the idea is to see that girls participate in sports, so that even if you're not going to become a player tomorrow, a professional player or a coach, and all, you can also be a journalist like myself. You can also just know that you can, grow with sports. Don't see sports as it's just for the guys, and so no, you have no business with it. No, see, grow up and see yourself like sports. You can grow along with sport just as the boys do. So it's one of the grassroots development program which the NCF is also keen into, because whenever we have our programs and then we meet up with the Nigerian Care Federation, of course they're always willing to come on, to support and all that. Right now, there's a tournament, like I said earlier, the Under-17 tournament, which the Nigerian Cricket Federation is planning, preparing for. It's going to begin at the weekend. It's going to be a regional tournament, and then there's a national tournament. So the Nigerian Cricket Federation have a lot of programs in place for. In fact, right now, they are returning back to schools. The Nigerian Cricket Federation have a plan where they say they want to get 250,000 youths, young children every year. 250,000 young children annually play cricket. That is their pattern, and doing that, they are going back to schools. They are supplying equipment. They are giving equipment to
I was about
schools.
to ask, if you are having 250,000 cricket, we want you to be in the children to go into cricket, then there must be equipment for them to train.
Of course.
Okay, that is also part of.
Yes. I think in last year, towards the end of the last year, they got over 1,000 and more supplies of cricket equipment, where they give to school. These ones are rubber equipment where the kids don't have issues with play. When you say cricket ball is quite hard. Yeah, of course. So they have other, what's the word now? They've tried to simplify it. They've tried to reduce it to what kids can play with. So they have this plastic bats,
like a dummy.
Of course, yes, equipment. So the idea is just that while you start growing, you play with such equipment. By the time you grow up to an extent, you just switch quickly to the expected international standard. Yeah.
We've been talking about Nigerian grassroots focus. Cricket and football has been what we are focusing on today on the show. Well, the ladies are really doing justice to that, talking about cricket. The Jema Kibo has been talking about that. And for football, in the grassroots level, it has been Adama Mata, who also a former basketballer, a player also, who later decided to go into grassroots football development in Nigeria. And to let you know that a lot of talents are in different locations in Nigeria. All we need to do, tap into them, organize competition, allowing all these academies to grow and supporting them. Everything cannot be left for the government. Individuals, just like they are doing, are also contributing one way or the other to the quota of developing grassroots sport in Nigeria. Now we move away from there. We talk about FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifier that took place in Cameroon. Nigerian Falconets, they played goalless against Cameroon there. It was a match that we needed to win, but a draw away is still okay. They'll be coming back to Nigeria at the Mobolaji Johnson's Football Arena in Lagos as they will be playing the second leg. Hopefully, we want our ladies to win. And I have ladies in the studio, so let the ladies talk about the ladies. Now, Adama, let's look at this. FIFA Under-20 Women World Cup, it ended in stalemate. It was 0-0 away. I'm sure you can still comment on that. Okay, they did well. I commend them rather. But the second leg, what do you expect?
The second leg, I'm expecting the 2-0. Yeah, win for Nigeria.
You believe you can win?
Yeah, 2-0. I believe.
So for us to have played away, it ended 0-0.
Yeah, with the goalless away.
So now you are touching home. Remember, we went there, we played draw. What if they come here and play draw and they will go into penalty or something? Or you see 2-0? Very
positive.
Okay, you seem to be so confident.
Yes.
That our ladies can do it. Yes. Ijoma, what about you?
Well, I expect a more goal goal scoring match, you know, considering the fact that yes, the last at the weekend it was a stalemate, and I know from their, you know, I followed their qualifiers to this level. Nigeria had,
they scored about 15 goals.
Yeah, 15 goals. Yeah, that was against,
at least
and same
first match.
Yes, and same against Cameroon too. I think Cameroon too was it what country is it they played? They scored 9-0, you know. So I expect a more electrifying game, a more game in which you have more goals. So I'll just go with her, maybe 3-2.
Are you scared? Are you scared?
Yes,
okay, since you are following her, you two, you don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, is it because Nigeria lost yesterday? That's why you are like, this one can win. Let me stand with her. Seriously? Well, to let you know, the Nigerian ladies did well so far in the competition. We've scored about 15 goals there, about winning all our games. But before this, that was before playing Cameroon. But if you notice, Cameroon, South Africa, Equatorial Guinea, and Ghana, they've been closing the gap. That's for the ladies. They've been closing the gap. You know, before the gap was so wide. But now, they are closing the gap between playing Nigeria, and anytime we face them, it's always. That's why yesterday, you saw what happened. It was on Saturday, it was 0-0. And the second leg, we just have to win if we want to make it to Costa Rica World Cup. Well, coming from Okigbo and Marta there, who have been giving us support there. Now, quickly, let's go to the MPFL fixtures for today. 2 matches will be coming up in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Gombe United will be hosting Niger Tornadoes, while Rivers United will be at home against Heartland. Rivers United, they know they are onions when it comes to playing football, but they know that Heartland, to some extent, are wounded because the players are expecting their money from the state government. So, will Rivers United be able to defeat Heartland today? Well, Gombe for Niger Tornadoes, that will be another match that will be coming up today in the MPFL match day 8 precisely. So matches will play on Sunday, and the result we've done in our earlier edition. But you just have to look at these fixtures: Gombe versus Niger Tornadoes, Heartland versus Rivers United. A big one there for Rivers United in Port Harcourt. Can they win? That's for the players to answer. Quickly, let's come back to you, ladies, before I let you go. When it comes to sports in Nigeria, we know football is a beautiful bride, but really, in the grassroots level, all sports should be treated equally. Let's give them that benefit so that everyone cannot play football, as I always advocate. What would you say, Amata, quickly, what would you advise that we should do to develop our sport in grassroots level? Your advice?
Okay, I think this will have to go to the federal government. If they can make it even mandatory for all housing estates in Nigeria, both federal and private estate, make it like criteria for them to have a recreational center before the approval, I think that will go a long way. Believe me, to go a long way. Because there are a lot of estates in Nigeria, so if you have sports center in all, we'll be able to at least pick up a lot of talents from there. Especially now that we need to have something to curb social vices amongst the younger people, which is one of our biggest challenges right now.
At least to reduce social vices in our society. When they have something doing, they'll be busy.
Of course.
Good one there. Very good point there. An advisor. And you, Ijoma, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I think it's more or less likely the duty of the federations. They should be able to see how to go back to schools. If there's a way they can also try to see how the Ministry of Education will make it like a necessity, you know, to see how sports can be back to schools. All federations just go back to schools, because that is where this grassroots, that is where they get to know. You go to schools and they don't know cricket. You know, it's only when you bring it to them that they know. There's always a
to the curriculum.
To the curriculum.
Good one there. Good one there. Coming from Ijema Kigbo and Adama Mata, they've been in the studio with me talking sport on 360 Sports on Trust TV. We just have to go right now. Time is up. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, Mata, and thank you, Ijoma.
Thank you.
Good one there. I am Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.